Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fabric Tech Talk Fridays. I'm your host, Patrick LeBlanc, and today we're going to talk about DBT and Microsoft Fabric. Before we get started, Chris and Marcus, why don't you tell the people who you are and what you do?
Hey everybody, my name's Chris Wagner, Director of AI and Data at Baker Tilly. I work with data all day long, helping customers find better insights with their data. Marcus?
Marcus Radue, Senior Architect at Baker Tilly, also everything data and AI with Microsoft. Excited to be here.
All right. Okay. So you guys know I love data, right? I live, I dream, I eat, I sleep data. And now we're really going to talk about a different type of architecture inside of Microsoft Fabric, DBT. So Marcus, get us started.
So DBT is not new. It's been out there for a while.
Yeah.
It stands for Data Build Tool. And it really helps orchestrate, in our opinion, the silver and gold layers in that medallion architecture. So, T-SQL, you can get in with DBT and you can have that all orchestrated within Fabric through the DBT job.
And this is different because you said something that's interesting. Because when I think about a traditional medallion architecture, my brain goes straight to Python, right? It goes straight to Python. And then people will argue Spark SQL, but there's so many nuances and things. If you're a true T-SQL developer, you go, I'm not doing that, right?
Right, and I think that's why we really like DBT is because it's all SQL based, allows you to kind of take over. Once the data gets into the fabric, once it's in one lake, then we have a real strong pattern for building and managing our data estate at a very low cost and high performance.
Wow, wow. So tell us about, what you guys have done with it with Fabric.
So we really like the approach with the medallion architecture where Lakehouse is used for our bronze layer, and we bring that through source data, metadata framework, process that through notebooks, Python, all that good stuff. But then we pick it up then with DBT to process our silver and gold layers, all in T-SQL, all built-in orchestration, built-in data quality testing, and take it to the finish line to our semantic layer.
And so you go Lakehouse for your raw data.
Yep.
And then you use warehouse for the rest.
Well, what that does is it also allows us to use the right engine for the right job. So if we need to optimize or do something complex in Python, we can still do that in this framework.
Sure.
But where we have optimized SQL expressions and transformations, we can do that with DBT.
Yeah, it's just like responsible. It sounds like you're just being responsible and being thoughtful about your data instead
Right.
of just saying, I'm going to do this traditional ceremony. I'm going to figure out what I need for the job.
Yeah. And because we're challenged every day, how do we manage the spend of our CUs? How do we manage the spend of our costs? So we feel an obligation to make sure the solutions we're engineering are designed and built to be as optimized for cost.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that later because we'll chat about that a little bit. But go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, going back to at a whole, now Microsoft has wrapped DBT core functionality directly into a Fabric item called DBT Job that is out already in public preview. Where that's going is even more exciting, where you'll be able to eventually nest that into your data pipelines as an activity and have that all orchestrated as a part of your processes.
Wow.
You can get up and going, and we're going to do a short demo in a little while showing you what that activity looks like directly in a workspace. I can get up and running super fast.
And so no more, I need to gather all my dependencies. Microsoft just put it there for me.
Microsoft put all the install dependencies, save hours of setup time from local environment. That's all available out of the box in Fabric.
All right.
And one of the big things we're going to show as part of the DB2 is data quality tests that you can build into the pipeline so that the output always maintains that same level of quality.
So wait, you're going to do governance, Chris? No.
Let's go.
Nobody does governance until there's a problem, man. What do you mean? Okay, fine.
So one of the things, we put our stamp of approval on DBT in general. We love Fabric. The two together, perfect harmony. One of the things similar to OneLake, single copy of data, we like DBT because it allows you to repeat the dry method, which is don't repeat yourself. Give yourself one place for that business logic to live. And DBT does a great job of that in your data architecture.
Because if it changes in one place, you fix it in one place.
You only need
You don't have to go through all the layers trying to figure out that logic. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, enough of this.
So enough of all this talk, and let's head to Marcus's laptop.
Let's do a demo. All right, let me get out to the workspace view. So we have a little bit of a task flow here just to kind of represent that medallion architecture. So what we're going to be focusing on is that transform area in the middle and those silver and gold data layers in the medallion architecture. And this is where we like to fit DBT into the process. As you can see, we have a DBT job set up over a data set. It's already integrated into Git integration. So that's all available today.
I was going to ask you about that. So this is fully supported. So you can set up CI/CD and everything just works.
Fully supported already with the new source control feature. We can branch out to a feature workspace, get started in DBT as a developer right off that main branch. It's pretty ready to go.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
So with that, let's hop into the actual item. We're going to go through some of the functionality for those of you that haven't used DBT before. So with bronze, silver, gold, let's say you use a Lakehouse for that bronze layer, all of your items, your source data items in there, this is all you need to do to reference it for DBT to recognize that layer. A simple YAML file, and you just need to list out the names of your tables, and DBT intuitively knows what it's pointed at. They can load that data right into your silver layer.
No columns, nothing. It just picks it up. What about if I add new columns?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Table name one time, and that's it.
So it handles all the schema drift for you.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
A couple other things too. We have a run already done here, but it'll show you all your runs, compiled SQL that it executed. And if we get to the silver layer here, we talked about native T-SQL functionality. If you can write select statements in T-SQL, you can use DBT. So that's how easy it is. There's a little bit of syntax called Jinja, but that's really just for it to pick up its orchestration and the DAG of all the processes, which again, you don't have to manage.
Marcus, what's a DAG?
Yeah.
Directed acyclic graph.
Graph. Yeah.
And anyway, it manages all those dependencies.
I used to say a click, but it's a cyclic, right? A cyclic, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
DAG.
Sorry, I'll stick with DAG.
Spell it.
Just the acronym.
Yeah.
So anyway, in my silver layer, like we get just a simple select statement that references that bronze layer table that we just talked about, and that's it. And so now I can test this. If you're familiar with any of the commands, I have a bunch of command line tasks built right into the UI here in the DBT jobs. So I can run it, test it. I can do a build, which in DBT includes a run and a test together, one command.
Yep.
So I can then execute that compiled SQL against my target environment.
This is all through the GUI. Can I do it through like APIs too?
You could through the command line, yeah. So I mean, you can, without the DBT activity, you can run it still on any compute that you have. But we like a DBT activity. You can do it right all in Fabric.
So you can take a low code approach or a pro code approach. Completely up to you. Yep.
For sure. So we're going to go ahead and run this start to end. And what this is going to include, we'll get into the run results. We're going to do a build. So again, this is going to compile all my silver layer code, all my gold layer code. You have the ability to do full loads, incremental, all of that based on your needs. And not only is it going to compile the code against those silver and gold layers, it's going to run your tests. So out of the box, uniqueness tests, not null tests, relationship tests with 2 lines of code.
Wow.
All built into the process, all run in line while processing your data.
Well, Chris said there's some governance and data quality built in. So
It is fantastic. So no more do you get to like the gold layer and oops, now you've doubled every customer and your models can't load and you get errors. It's all built in.
one column that's completely blank.
Right.
Should be done shortly. But again, this is going to include all the runs, all the tests, has built-in lineage, something that you used to have to install an extension for locally. That's all built into this item.
So what surprised you about, I mean, you guys have been building data solutions for a bit. What surprised you from going from the traditional way of doing it, hand code and hard code and everything, to using DBT inside of Microsoft Fabric?
So the big thing that we really like about it is it's so easy to get like analytics engineers or to transform a business user into an analytics engineer with DBT.
Yeah.
And what that means is we get to bring along all of that business contextual knowledge into the build out of our models and the build out of our analytics. What that does is it rapidly accelerates our ability to develop and deliver solutions, because we've taken someone like on a Monday, train them up on DBT and then by Wednesday they're working in the tool, and by Friday we've got a new start schema out there.
So would you say the DBT inside of Microsoft Fabric is blurring the lines between the analyst and the engineer a little bit?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It makes it possible for that analyst to start to work directly with that engineer to build out solid solution.
And they bring their domain knowledge to the solution, which just levels it up even more.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's all on tools that engineers can support and love, gone are like the access and this other stuff. But now you can actually support this and manage this tool.
That's remarkable.
It's
All right.
fantastic.
What we got, Marcus?
We got a lot of success. So we got we got our silver objects processed. So we can see that. So each model, it's called a model in DBT, similar to a table or a view. So you can see we got our dimension tables in the silver layer. We got our fact table. And then as we go down, now we get into this data quality built in. And we get our not null. We get our uniqueness tests. We get our relationship integrity tests between our dimensions and facts. All of that inline built into the process. And DBT orchestrates all of it.
Wow.
And you saw this live. This
I
was
did.
not like recorded. This was, this isn't a video that we like spent weeks producing, right? Like this was live in front of y'all. You got to see the build out of this, right?
We did. So I heard Lakehouse. I heard 2 warehouses. Is that
Mhm.
right? It's got cost on my CU. It's got to really, really hammer that capacity.
Well, here's the great thing.
Okay.
It's because we've optimized for using Python when Python's great and warehouses when warehouses is great. We're actually really able to drive down the cost of CU.
Oh,
And I know DBT will like to say like, hey, we could drop the cost by 30%. We've seen it go much higher than that by using DBT. And it's because DBT does optimization of the SQL as you execute it. So it's like even faster than if you just write SQL yourself for the
Wow.
transformation.
wow. So you're telling me it writes SQL better than us?
I don't know how it works, but like there's a booth over there, they'll tell you that. But it's fantastic.
Okay. All right. Cool. Anything else, Marcus?
Just in the current state of things, you can run your own schedules in the item itself. Soon to be coming, at least as far as we've heard, is this going to be able to be added into a pipeline, the data pipeline. Let's see, now, if you can think of a near real-time event-driven process, I take my bronze layer items and process those, and I then kick off a model through DBT that then does my silver gold in near real-time in an event-driven architecture.
Well, I think this would even further enhance that incremental loading process.
Right.
Or even further. So I've been asking people this all week when I talk to them. This is a great solution, but what's next? Where are you going to take it besides just this part? It's okay.
As far as it needs to go.
As far as it needs to go.
We're really excited for the data pipeline activity.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
that's going to allow us to bake it into our existing orchestration
Sure.
processes
Sure.
and make that all natively in Fabric.
Yeah.
Because I'll say one of the big advantages is right now historically we've run DBT on the server, and it takes 3 to 4 minutes for the DBT services to come online and spin up. This is just natively up and running in Fabric. So we cut off that 3 to 4 minutes off of every pipeline.
Wow.
Right. So now that real time or near real time integration, well, you just cut off that spin up time on every single time you're processing. All right. So that, like Marcus said, we're going to get more and more and closer to that real time integration across our entire stack.
Yeah.
So solutions like Fabric DB that we then or Fabric databases that we sync in at the bronze layer, we can now integrate all the way through our analytics using that event-driven architecture.
Reducing that latency time. But then something else I thought about, and then we'll wrap up, is because of the governance, because of the quality of the data, man, you got good, clean data out. AI will work great on top.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's all leading towards that new integrated AI solutions that all of our clients are asking for.
Absolutely.
And we start with this as like, hey, this is the foundation for AI.
Yeah.
And if you want to do AI a year from now or 5 years from now, you've got to start on this journey today.
Yeah. Because bad data, bad AI. All
Yep.
right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. And thank you all for hanging out with me. And as always, from these guys, Microsoft, and this guy, thanks for watching. And we'll see you next Friday.
What a conversation. Everything you've been watching here was captured live at FabCon and SequelCon in Atlanta, from the interviews to the demos to the community insights that make these events so special. If you're into Microsoft Fabric, SQL, and the future of data, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And speaking of next, we're taking this show to Barcelona. FabCon and SequelCon Barcelona are happening this September 2026, and it's going to be packed with big announcements, deep technical sessions, and one amazing global data community. Hit the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen to register and use code FABTV to save €200 off your ticket. As always, thank you so much for watching. Keep being awesome, and we'll see you in the next one.